Okay, this is technically my very first cut in a panel that I know I'm going to reuse. So, kind of a little bit nerve-wracking. I've marked out the hole for the center beam on the rotisserie. Now I'm going to cut it and I'm going to see what happens. All right, here we go. All right. I have cut the hole for the rotisserie center beam. I've cut it in the back bench, as you can see there, and I screwed up. I didn't cut the hole low enough. The beam is not level. You can see here, it's not level. It needs to go down on the back side, and so therefore that means my cut, I need to cut a little bit more out of it. So doggone it, I kind of messed that one up. Right, so I've given it a little bit of thought. You know, I've cut that hole, and I believe I didn't cut quite enough out of the bottom side of that hole. And when I turned the camera off, I was studying the rotisserie, and I think I know where I went wrong. As you can see, look at this is my rotisserie, one end of it. And if you can see, this upright here is perfectly upright. This guy right here, the main part of the rotisserie. Then you've got your hydraulics, and then this beam here, if you look closely, you can see that it's in an angle with this guy, and it's going downward. You can kind of see that. But the first things first, taking 2 steps backwards, I am going to have to take the shell off the rotisserie and let these arms release, and then I'll work on the center beam. I'll try to get the center beam in level, and then I'll put it back on the rotisserie and work from there. So I'm a little disappointed that I have to go backwards, but maybe that's par for course. Yeah, so, all right, so I'm back at it. So I'm curious, what's the norm for socket wrenches size over there? I mean, like, this guy is a 3/8 inch ratchet. For some reason, I was led to believe that y'all don't use 3/8 much, but maybe I understood. Y'all, I'm referring to UK folk. But maybe I misunderstood. Y'all use 3/8 inch ratchets / sockets, or do you use 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch? What do y'all typically use? Anyhow, if anybody might let me know, solve my curiosity, that'd be nice. My wife is restocking refreshments. All right, so here we go. The shell is now back down on jack stands. This angle there, as you can see, didn't relax as I hoped it would. However, and it might be forced because of the partial shelf. I mean, that's a fixed length, and that's not going to relax there. But on the front end, did it relax at all? I can't really tell that it did. However, it's also supported. So I'm going to loosen these guys. I'm going to take these off and see what happens here. Okay, so what I believe I know the problem, and I've got to fix it. And working the center beam, I wanted to do something similar to what Dave Jaguar 66 has done. And in doing that, I realized that things aren't just things on the rotisserie and the center beam just weren't square. So I've had to take a step backwards, and I've got to figure it out because I want to do it right. I always tell my girls, you know, hey, if you're going to do it right. And if that means take a step or two backwards, then okay. So I'm going to replace these arms. So I'm going to go buy them, and I've got to find the part numbers, and I've got to order them. So it's going to take a little bit of time to do that. But for my own mind, I want it done correctly. So what I think has happened when I assembled this for the first time, these arms were welded on at an upward angle. And I couldn't figure it out. I called the manufacturer asking them, hey, is this right? What's going on? And they couldn't tell me. They called a few customers of theirs, and their customers were happy with the rotisserie. They loved it. And nobody could tell me why these arms were welded upwards. And so I thought it was wrong. So I cut them off, and I had a friend help me weld them back perfectly vertical. Well, I think that was a mistake. Because of this angle here, I think the weld upward was to compensate for this angle down here. So to correct that, I'm going to replace these beams. I can't cut this off and fix it because then this hole won't line up. So I'll just replace them and kind of start from scratch in a way. But in my own mind, I'll know that I've done it right, know that it's done it right. So this isn't the end, but I've got to take a couple of steps backwards. Thank you for watching. Again, it may not interest everybody because I don't know who might have a rotisserie like this one. If you do, then fantastic. Hopefully it'll help somebody. But I'm going to step back. May take me a week or so. Hopefully, if I can order the parts, got to talk to the better half, you know. And I'll get those ordered and replaced. And I'll go from there. So, hey, thanks for watching. The shell is now down again. It's off the rotisserie. But thanks for watching, and all is great. Talk to y'all later. Bye just now.